Hey there. That's a path. It meanders around through the swamp. You can see ducks, geese, swans. It's a nice path. There are several paths that go different directions. You can see different things. I've walked several different paths myself. What we're going to do basically, I'm going to talk about the 3 different Christian paths I've walked and what I liked about them. I'm not going to tell what I didn't like. It's going to be a positive video. Not Joel Osteen positive, but pretty positive. I grew up Pentecostal. Actually, Apostolic Holiness Oneness Pentecostal. That's a mouthful. Then for quite a few years, I rejected God, Jesus, the church. I just totally disregarded all that. And at the age of 29, I started going back to church. I went to a Pentecostal church to talk Trinitarian. There is a difference. Most people don't know. Most people don't understand. That's okay. I'm not here to talk about that. I enjoyed being Pentecostal. I enjoyed it. After a while, there's some things I didn't like. I'm not going to get into that. Then I started studying Presbyterianism. The conservative Presbyterians, not the liberal ones. I started studying John Calvin, Doctrines of Grace. I was enamored. I seen a lot there that I agreed with. You may disagree with me on that. That's okay. So, sorry, dissatisfied with the Pentecostal church. It's amazing what a spirit will do to you, a spirit of controversy. Anyway, so I started going to this Presbyterian church. So what I liked about the Pentecostal church was the freedom of worship. The indwelling of the Holy Spirit, which I do believe in. And I always maintained my belief in that no matter where I went. So at the Presbyterian church, what I like about it, now I have to admit, of the different churches I've been in, those were the most biblically literate as a congregation church I've ever attended. They were students of the Bible. They knew their doctrines. They knew why they believed. I loved the church. As a matter of fact, the best Bible teaching I've ever been under was that pastor right there, whose name I'm not going to mention. No matter what's on the internet, what's on TV, what others I've heard, that teacher was the best I've ever heard. Anybody that can sit there and go through a book of the Bible, not chapter by chapter, not verse by verse, but point by point, and not bore you to death, that's good teaching right there. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Something else I loved about them. My wife got breast cancer. And a deacon of that church came to me and said, Dave, let us love you. He said, let us help you. If you get to where you're a little behind in bills, let us know. We'll help you. Don't let it get too far behind. Don't let us get into a mess. But we want to help you. That right there. I'll never, ever forget that. Never. Then I started studying the Catholic faith, which, by the way, I'd already been studying before I left my Pentecostal church. Now, you say what you will. There's a lot in the Catholic faith that is true. So what did I like about the Catholic faith? It was ancient. You walk to an older Catholic church and you feel like you're in a holy place. It gets you in your feels, as I heard someone say. You read early church writings, they sound very Catholic in their beliefs, at least what I've seen. So I started going to Catholic church. Went there for a few years, 3, 4 years. But I'm not there now. What? You're not there now? Geez, Dave, where are you at now? I know, right? It's kind of how I feel. I went back to the Pentecostal church. Not because of the Catholics. This is not anti-Catholic. Not because my Presbyterian friends. This is not anti-Presbyterian. But because I still can't shake loose the indwelling power of the Holy Spirit in my belief in that. Nor can I disregard the freedom of worship. I'm not an emotional worshiper. I really am not. I'm more of a silent worshiper. Every now and then I'll throw my hand up, say amen, clap to the songs, not in applause, but just, along with the song. And enthused worship. I like enthused worship, at least to to do that if I want to, whether I choose not to or not. So, I told you about the church I grew up in. My dad didn't agree with all those doctrines. Not all of them. But that's the church he stayed with. And I asked him years later when I kind of realized all this stuff. I said, Dad, why did you stay there? Now, I know that him and the founder were best friends. They were co-workers. I knew they had something to do with it. But you know what he told me? Freedom. Freedom to worship how I choose. Which is kind of funny because was not an emotional worshiper neither. He would raise his hand, sing a song. But I mean, he didn't, he was not an emotional worshiper, but the freedom to worship as he pleased. So those are the things that are positive. Nothing in death by any means, but those are the positive things about the different churches that I've attended, been a part of, studied hard because I'm a student of the Bible. I study doctrines, I study creeds, I study history, I study church history, and I've gone full circle back to my Pentecostal faith. Y'all have a good day.